again, and welcome to Doing Life with Itzy on a Bitsy Budget. Today we're going to be in the kitchen cooking some summer squash. Let's see how I do it. Okay, today we're going to be making some summer squash. We've got vegetable time coming, and you're going to get a lot of fresh vegetables at the grocery store. So I bought a little bit of yellow and zucchini squash at my local grocery store, and I thought, well, I'll show you how I cook it up. Again, one of my key ingredients in this is using the bacon grease that I keep out, and I also fry a little bit of bacon, but it's never quite enough for seasoning, so I'll put a couple of just teaspoonfuls in there. And again, I keep that grease out all the time and use it for different dishes that I make. It's a great seasoning. Okay, to get started with, we're going to have bacon, which when I cut my bacon up, I get this roll at Sam's. It's great. I know we've done some videos in the past talking about it, but I just take all of my bacon like this, and I usually use about 6 pieces, and I just put them all together. And then I take a pair of scissors, which I keep 3 pair in my kitchen, and I just go ahead and cut it into pieces. Now this works if you're making a salad and you need bacon bits. This is a great way to cut them up. If you just wanted a thinner slice for a bacon bit, that's fine. You can cut it a little thicker like I'm doing here for seasoning. It doesn't really matter. Or you could just cook the whole thing in there. A lot of times with green beans, that's how I do it there. But I prefer fried rice, and I'll just kind of cutting it up. So I'll get that started cooking. Let me grab a spoon. Cooking while I prepare my squash. So we'll let this cook. Then I'm going to add some onions to it. Okay, so I'm going to mix. You know, I always, whatever ingredients, whether I'm baking or not, when I'm finished with it, I always put it up, and that way I know I've got it in there. It's a good habit to get into, especially for baking. Not so much this dish, but it's a habit, so I just do it. Okay, so I'm going to take a couple pieces of the squash out. And I'll go ahead and wash those. And I'll probably do 3 yellows. Now again, if you were going to do this for a dinner party tonight, you could still go ahead and do this in the morning if you wanted, and prepare all of this, cutting it up. And then it'd be easy to do. It wouldn't be so time consuming for your dinner. But I just go ahead and slice it up. Take the ends off. Again, if you had a compost garden, you could do that. You can throw them out in your yard, and the rabbits and all will eat them if you're out where you have some wildlife. So you don't have to just throw them away. But I like slicing mine like this to do this particular dish. And then I just kind of cut them in half. You know, I just stack them, cut them in half. You can cut it in half. These little ones I won't even cut in half. Probably those. Just so they all are about the same size and cook equal. So I'll go ahead and continue cutting this up, and then we'll turn back on the video. So now I'm going to take my 3 zucchinis, and I'm going to do the same thing. It's a little thicker, and I want it to cook the same as the yellow squash. Now remember, when you're making this, you can take peppers, onions, you can put anything together and just serve it over rice, or just eat it plain. You don't even need any meat with it for this nice summer dish. That one's not any good. Yes, this one. You would think that in a small town that's kind of a farming community, we'd have a great resource for fresh vegetables, but unfortunately we do not. So I bought that one. It looked great. You turn it over, and it was completely rotten. But anyway, I've got my bacon still cooking over here. You just keep stirring it while you're cutting up your summer vegetables. And just remember, this is a great way to cook summer vegetables, especially if you have picky eaters. So, you know, you might be cooking for kids or anything, but everybody likes stuff kind of fried with bacon. Most people will eat Brussels sprouts and asparagus. vegetables they normally will not eat, just if you cook them like this. All right, I'll keep working on this, and then we'll cut up one onion. I'm going to go ahead and peel this onion and just cut it up. I'll just cut it in half and make some wedges. Then they won't be too soggy, I guess is the way to call it. Soft, whatever, however you describe it. So I just kind of mix those up in here. One of the things I like doing is putting it all in a bowl, and I just kind of use my hands. Mix it up, and then I'll season it. Mix it again, and I'll show you what I usually do. You know, I talked about salt. You know, you don't need a lot of flavor when you are using the bacon, but I do like putting a complete seasoning. So I'll put salt, pepper, and I use this complete seasoning. I told you in a different video, I think, that you can get this at, we've already posted at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. It's a lot less expensive there, and it's in date. It's the same thing that you buy in your grocery store, and it's a Cuban, in the Cuban section in the grocery store. But again, let me grab a little spatula over here. And I just kind of mix that up a little bit. Toss it. And then we'll add some more once it's cooked of the complete seasoning. It's a nice touch to add it after you've cooked. So, all right, I'll turn the bacon back on here. I had to take it off so it didn't get overcooked. But you can see it's just, you know, there's enough grease in here, and these pieces are good and crunchy. And I'll just start that, get that hot again. Let me turn the light up, Jennifer. Maybe they can. That help? All right. Get this going again. And again, if you don't have enough bacon grease in here, this recipe won't work. That's why I added the bacon grease that I keep out here to the pan. And if you start cooking and it gets too dry, which these should get a little watery in there, so you don't have to worry about it. So you can see it's kind of steaming up, and I just put these right in. And just start cooking. Go ahead and make sure that you're mixing it up right away. And another thing you can do if you need to is add a tad of water, and it'll steam it up good. And that's the whole point. Fresh vegetables have enough water in them where you can steam them really good just in a frying pan. But you want your frying pan pretty hot when you do this dish. And I'll just turn it, let it cook for a few minutes, turn it again, and pretty soon these will all be done. It doesn't take long. Now you can add a little bit of kielbasa or Italian sausage to this and have a complete meal all in the pan. You would just cook that meat first. But I'm just doing a vegetable version. Sometimes with us, I'll cut up a tomato and put it, you know, on the sides of this, and we just eat vegetables in the evening. So it just kind of depends on what you like. But it's a very easy way to cook your summer vegetables. Okay, we'll come right back to you. I wanted to show you a little something that I was talking about. As this is cooking, you can see how there's a little water that's coming out of the squash and all added to the bacon grease. And again, that's just going to make your fresh vegetables absorb that flavor. And so don't worry about that. That works out really good. But we'll keep on frying. I'll see you in a few minutes. So at this point, I'm going to add a little more seasoning to it. Oh, got it right over here. I'm going to put a little more pepper. Again, it's going to cook in. And I could have cut up some just regular garlic for this. You can basically put anything in it. But I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit of garlic powder. I mean, you can season it with anything. You can put fresh parsley in. You can put anything you want in here. Oregano, any of your seasoning. It'll add more flavor. But as you can see, I'm just tossing it. It's getting a little softer. And you can cook it all the way down till it's almost sauteed, you know, very cooked. Or you can leave it a little crunchy, whatever your preference is. I like mine a little bit more cooked than this, but it'll all taste good together. Cut up that tomato and put it on the top. Add meat if you want, you know, to the side. Makes a great summer dish. Okay, we'll be back in a few minutes. So here's about the consistency I like. A couple of pointers. You could actually put a lid on this and it would steam it even better, but I just like mine kind of not quite as juicy, so I leave the lid off. But again, it's just kind of softened. Now, when you eat this, these vegetables almost taste sweet. That's why I like that onion in there. I'll let Jennifer have a little taste and see how she likes it. There you go. And you could serve it with a little bit. I like a lot of this seasoning, but you don't have to. It tastes good like it is. But I just put a little sprinkle on the top. Jennifer, you can eat yours that way and see how you think. I'll remove this from the heat. And I think it's going to be just perfect. Let me see. Probably too hot. Very good. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. And please like, subscribe, share, and follow. I'll see you next time.